You're listening to the B4evaKool podcast. My name is Rex45.
My name is TJ with Two Wheels and Coffee.
How's it going, man? How are things?
Yeah, just coming back from my round 4 Loudon. So I did a couple of races this weekend. So feels really good to actually be on the track besides talking about riding all the time. So it was really fun. And we had a couple weeks off, I think about 5 weeks since the Loudon Classic. So it was good to see faces that we're familiar with and joke around and all that good stuff and talk about bike parts and the scramble of what you need when you actually get ready, time to go. But overall, it was a good weekend. Um, Placed fifth in one race and 13th in the other, but both of my races had red flags in them, so they were restarts on both times. So
Right.
things a little different second go around. So, but happy to get out there overall.
Nice. And how does it feel to take 5 weeks off and then jump back on a race bike?
And I mean, you think that taking 6 months off because where you live makes a big difference, but 5 weeks is pretty much the same. I
Yeah,
feel, but you rebound pretty quick. It's just you got to get the seat time in.
I hear that. Weather was good?
Weather was actually amazing. It was a little on the hotter side, but as long as you keep moving, stay hydrated, you're pretty on the safe side. But it was like in the 80s. So I think it was pretty good temperature. The sun was beaming on the track, so
Yeah. It's
the
always
rubber was
nice.
sticking.
Say again?
Said the rubber was sticking. So
Hey, listen, that's all you can ask for.
right.
No one likes to slip and slide.
Not at
So,
all.
yeah, so what was going on? World SuperBike was also happening. Crazy. Well, not necessarily crazy. It's not. It actually was kind of crazy for Alvaro Batista. It was an unusual weekend for him. He definitely was making. He made a lot of mistakes. Let's jump into World Superbike and the race on Saturday, Super Pole, and then race 2. It's. I don't want to sit here and say it's a far gone conclusion that Top Rock is going to run away with it. Because they are. It looks like the Ducatis in Alvaro and Bulaga, at least for the first few laps, can stay with them and stuff like that. But it's tricky when everybody else is fighting to get second and third position, and he gets out front.
As far as Top Rock, yeah, I mean, I think in my head, I'm just like, man, this guy's just playing around with these riders, he just feels his way through and he just turns it on. And when he finds his mark to get up front, I mean, he's just blowing them away. And that's what, 3 races, 3 wins in a row again for Top Rock. So I think everyone else is in trouble. I mean, there is a big fight, for the second and third. But as far as this weekend, um, it was very impressive from Top Rock.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like he's leading. I don't think I'm looking at the right stats here.
I think he's leading the whole race weekend.
Yeah. He's
Points.
leading, so he could take a weekend off.
Yeah, he could take a weekend off if he had to, but that's not the case ever. But yeah, he's just running away with it. Like Bautista had a 4th place in the first race.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, the Super Pole, I don't know what happened, that crash that he had. I mean, I guess they said the gravel was really deep.
Right.
He really touched it and tried to get back on the surface, and he went down. It was what, second to last lap or last lap?
Something close. And fortunate for Bulaga for finishing second anyway. Because if he did not, that mood in the garage might have been different. I'm pretty sure it might have been, when you're the number one rider on the factory team and stuff like that, but you can't start doing Marc Marquez stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things like I know, it sounds like Alvaro wants a certain amount of money from Ducati or something from Ducati to sign again next year. So it sounds like Ducati wants him and stuff like that. So he's not necessarily fighting, and I'm pretty sure other teams would probably want him if he wanted to continue. So he's not in a situation where he's like Ronaldo or one of these guys that may be fighting for a seat. He's a wanted rider. So him doing those riding the way he's riding, like I said, it's a bit like Mark Marquez. Not thinking about other riders because you're usually finishing the top 5 or whatever. So guys that are further down the order, you're not showing the same respect to. You know what I'm saying? So, because even when I think he made a mistake, and maybe it might have been race 1 too, when he was trying to come back up in the pack to get that 4th place. He was also doing some, not sketchy passes, but it definitely showed that he's frustrated in the weekend and stuff like that, and it's unfortunate. And as you say, Top Rock is up by a weekend, so. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen in the next round in the beginning of August. Say again?
There's some riders that are out there, especially Albert, that when it comes to the first race, their grip position is not where they should be, which causes all this chaos for him and other riders. I mean, it's hard to place yourself, top 2 rows or such, but like the practice is very important in the qualifying. So if that goes wrong, I mean, it's your weekend probably can go just as bad. But yeah, just like in MotoGP, you can't be in the middle of the pack as a top rider trying to fight to the front all the time.
Right.
It's I don't know. It's just like you said, it's gonna be dive bombing people, and it's just the risk.
Yeah, I don't know if
what happened all these accidents.
Yeah, I don't know if the risk is worth the reward. We saw Sam Lowe's. Man, he had a nasty high side in the super. I think it was a Super Bowl race, and he was ruled out of race 2. Looked like he has a broken collarbone and maybe a broken rib, or fractured collarbone and broken rib, or something like that.
Yeah, that was a nasty high side for sure. I mean, especially when it's I mean, you never expect it, but like it's just, man. Yeah, that's never good, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery. Because what is that, collarbone and a rib?
Yeah, I believe a rib. The collarbone, he can probably, we saw Joe Roberts come back after a week with a fractured collarbone, but the rib, it depends on. I'm no doctor, but it depends on which rib and how difficult it is to breathe, right?
Yeah, can't laugh, cough, none of that good stuff. But I mean, hopefully it's broken, but hopefully it can heal quickly. I mean, I know some guys ride with bruised ribs and such, but seen it happen. But yeah, hopefully it gets a speedy recovery.
Right.
Sure.
So he does have a little bit of time. They don't race again until August 9th in the Portuguese round. So, he has at least a couple of weeks. Hopefully, he'll be in a place where he can at least ride. It was good to see Inoni and Petrucci, yes, thank you. Do well. It was bad. I forget which race he because he crashed, right? Petrucci in the race 2, I believe. Somebody took him out.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was him and Redden. It might have been him and Redden, or I forget which one of the other riders. I think it was Alvaro actually, right? Because he got squeezed. He got squeezed in the middle there between 2 riders at the start. So it's unfortunate that he's riding well, and I think he has if Bautista doesn't resign with Ducati factory, I think Petrucci has a good chance of getting that factory seat. The way he's been riding and the way he can come from behind. The downside for him is that he doesn't qualify as well. I think if he can fix that and continue to ride the way he is, and I think he has a good shot to probably get that seat if Alvaro doesn't want it.
I'm sure Alvaro wants that seat, but I mean, Petrucci, I feel like is the next runner up. I mean, he got the resume for sure. I mean, he is coming off of a injury, but for so far this year, he's been, proving his point. Like he's already been on the podium a few times. So I think he deserves a seat. You know, if Alvaro has different options.
Yeah, exactly. But listen, if Alvaro continues to ride the way he's riding, it may slip away from him. Nothing is guaranteed in motorcycle racing. We also saw that Inoni, he did well on the first race. He kind of had some setbacks on Sunday. He's another guy that's looking for that factory seat, wants to get a factory seat because where he's at right now is costing him money to race. And so he's looking for a seat, but I think he needs, much better results than that for Ducati to sit here and say, here you go.
Yeah, I mean, you know how Ducati sides. We got to see, see who other options are. But yeah, I mean, he does definitely needs better results for sure.
Yeah. And Top Rock. I mean, I like it. Like, let's go back to that before we round up the World Superbike and then jump into the SuperSport class. Is it a foregone conclusion that the man's going to win the title at this point? Do you think? I mean, at this point, it looks like only really, Ducati can challenge him. It seems like the Yamahas are there. Remy Gardner is starting to ride really well. I'm happy to see him out front, like not out front, but in the top six, and at least being up there because we don't. If you're a BMW fan or a Top Rock fan, sure you want to see him run away with it, but when they start panning to eighth and ninth place on the grid because that's where the competition is, as far as passing and fun to watch from a fan standpoint, right? Because when he's 3-4 seconds out, the cameras are not on him anymore. And so we're watching other guys, which is great for some of these other riders who may not get the same airtime. But do you think that Yamaha or Ducati can challenge him to at least slow him down?
Sometimes I think some of his teammates can't even challenge him
None of
on
them.
the same bike.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's going to be tough, especially this year, to challenge. Especially like he's up a whole weekend on the second place. So if we look down to sixth place, the only we're 115. That's like double the points. So yeah, I mean, Ducati and Yamaha have some work to do. I think that Top Rock is kind of shown that it's over.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially winning 3 races in a row. I mean, if he got a second or a third this weekend, maybe. But I mean, he took all the points, like
Yeah.
all the necessary points needed, and he's very humble about it. Even the Super Bowl, knowing that he had another race to go, he wanted to win 3 in a row, and he didn't want to talk about anything until it was finished. So
Right.
I think he's very focused, and I think he's put a stamp on it already.
Yeah, I think so too. And setting records while doing it. So,
Right.
I can't wait for the next round to see what happens. But it was fun to watch. And I do like the Czech Republic track. That's a fun little not little track, fun track. So let's go into in the Super Sports.
Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
Wait. Got a shout out to my boy Hayden Gillum, who rode with the World Superbike riders. He is in Moto America, so he got a chance to go over and participate. So it's pretty cool to see Hayden Gillum, who rides the baggers. He rides the
Stock,
Superbike class,
the Stock
in Moto
1000
America.
class. No,
Stock 1000.
yeah. He rides a Stock 1000. That's pretty cool to see for him, for Honda to even reach out to him and give him the opportunity to come out on the track because they could have looked in BSB, they could have looked in Asia, they could have looked in Australian series. So that was pretty dope for Honda to do that. And to give him a ride and stuff like that, and he also won the classic, right? So shout out to
Oh, exactly.
Gillum for that,
That's
right?
another
And he got that money. Um, yeah, no doubt. That was very impressive to see, and it's always nice to see when riders from the U.S. Get a chance to be on the world stage, even for a weekend.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So congrats to him and best for his future too.
Yeah. So the super sport class. Interesting listening to the race. It looks like Ducati had to pull back some of their power this past weekend and stuff, just to even the playing field a little bit, because the first few, they were running away with it. They still kind of ran away with it. They were tripping over each other a little bit more. Manzi was able to run up there on the Yamaha and stuff like that. But is it a foregone conclusion as well for the Ducati factory team to win that one? It sounds like Montella might be, and Manzi might be the only person that can get in the way.
Yeah, I mean, see, Huertas, Montella, Manzi is top 3 in the standings. And I didn't hear about the Ducati situations. I must have missed that. So they had to pull back some power.
Yeah. From the
And
previous rounds, yeah. So I'm sure it's in the electronics, whatever they did, but they definitely had to dial it back. And so, which, like I said, you can see that we saw the difference with what Yamaha was able to do, especially in the second race and even the first race, because I believe Manzi got on the podium. I don't know, was it both races?
yeah, he actually he's been what 6 races in a row he's won.
No, man, on the podium, not. You're talking about Adrian Huertas as won 3 races in a row, not Manzi, right?
Oh, sorry. For some reason I got the name wrong. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, which is, and it was a good battle to watch. Again, Montella, he wanted to get on the podium for race 2, and he tried, but it wasn't there for him. So they had 2 Yamahas on the podium, and the factory duck on winning it. So it's, World SuperSport is just as fun to watch. Unfortunately, there's only about like 5 riders. Karasulu, I'm messing up his name as well. He had a tough time. Shredder had a tough time as well. So it's gonna be tough for those guys to fight up front if they keep having bad weekends.
The race 2 for the Super Sport, I thought it was pretty aggressive. There was a lot of chaos in that race. A lot of riders low-sided, crashed into each other.
Yeah.
Some ran off, especially turn 1. But yeah, I mean, you could tell that the fight is there, and everyone's trying to, keep up front or get some points. But yeah, it's another, looks like a runaway with that series as well.
It might be a bit of a runaway, for sure. Again, they're going to be in Portugal in a couple of weeks. The interesting thing to see is that the WCR and the 300 Super Sport classes, they're intertwining, or they're changing. So this weekend we didn't have the WCR. The past few weekends we didn't have the 300 Super Sport class, and so it's interesting that the organization is doing that instead of just adding one more race. They kind of either or kind of thing. And I the 300 Super Sport class didn't do all the rounds anyway. So I can see that, and the WCR only has 8 rounds, but it would be nice. It's always nice to have more motorcycle racing and less.
It's cool to always have more motorcycle racing, like you said. But just focusing on either the Super Sport and the SuperBike class, or the WCR and the SuperBike class. I think it's pretty cool setup to have them split up. But who wouldn't want to see all 3 classes in one weekend, which I'm sure it'll be hard to cover. So I'm not sure if that's one of the issues.
Right.
Because it's the same series.
Yeah,
And
I'm not.
everybody needs equal track time. So,
Right.
well, enough track time, I should say.
Yeah, exactly. I assume it's something like that. But hopefully, I think the sport will continue to grow, and it'll be nice when they're at all the rounds, and but we'll see what happens. Um, let's
I
talk
can
about
see it from on your
MotoGP
end.
for a
So,
little bit. It's
mhm.
looks like Raul Fernandez has a 1 year deal with Aprilia Trackhouse, so that's good to see. I'm excited for him. He's been, he's doing what Gian Antonio did last year. He's riding well enough well, he rode well enough to save his seat, so that's good. So hopefully, he'll continue to progress, and that bike will continue to progress, and hopefully, he'll have a nice second half of the season.
Yeah, I actually really like the way he's riding this year. Um, he's just he's showing that he's improving. You're seeing him more upfront, which is a good thing.
Right.
You just gotta probably tweak little things, have a good team, and I'm sure he can put it together. But it's cool to see that he signed before, Miguel. Now I'm not sure what the future of Miguel. But it is good to see Raul on Trackhouse. I really like it. And it's good to see him have the seat, even though it's just 1 year. So he's probably gonna have to go through the same stressful situation halfway through the season next year, so that's tough on himself or the rider, any rider for 1 year contracts. But to know you have a seat and it's the same manufacturer is pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. And you still got more than half of races to go in the current season, so he has a lot of time to really show that he should be in MotoGP longer than 2025. Like I said, we'll see Gian Antonio has done it, and Antonio has done it, and he might even I think he had the option to go with Pramac for Yamaha. I believe he's probably going to stay with Ducati. I just think he wants to be on a winning bike. But nonetheless, he went from almost being out of MotoGP to now having options to with different manufacturers. So hopefully for Raul, that would happen, because he rode really well in Moto 2. If you'd have asked me then, I probably felt like he probably should have stayed one more year in Moto 2. Because he came out, him and Gardner was fighting for the championship, and Gardner won it, but Raul came up as well, and I think if he would have stuck around, he probably would have won the championship the following year. But nonetheless, when MotoGP comes knocking, usually you don't say, I'm not going.
Unless you're like one rider.
Exactly. One or two. There's only one or two that didn't
Okay.
jump on that Aprilia when they had the opportunity to. So it's
Right.
tricky. So that's good to see. I think we have still a few more weeks left of the summer break. We don't really like to get into too much gossiping, but it looks like Bagnaia has gotten married on the break. So it's like, Valentino Rossi looked like he's having a second child. The VR46 Academy is becoming more of a family.
Right. Yeah, congratulations to Pecco. I guess perfect time to get this done. And congratulations to Pecco getting married. Sure he's excited. And yeah, another family member. Hopefully if they have some kids, it'll be another racer.
One more racer
But
to the family.
yeah, I'm sure if it would be a girl or boy, they're gonna be a racer, so doesn't matter. But
I completely agree. It is
now the
definitely not.
WCR is out
Say
and all
again.
that good stuff. So now that the WCR is out and all that good stuff, and there's females that are in Moto 2 and such. So,
Yeah,
but
exactly. I did shout out to Smitty, Smith Shot Racing. He listened to the last show and was saying that Kayla is doing much better in Motor America and stuff. So she's not going to want to go to the the WCR. But like I said to him, I do believe she would if the opportunity presents itself. Obviously, she's riding very well right now in Motor America on a bigger bike. Yeah, sure. So she might have an option to. She could probably go to the SuperSport class in World SuperBike and ride a V2 there as well instead of the WCR. But I think the world stage is going to be calling her sooner or later.
right. She definitely has a potential. I mean, we see it from all the the years she's been documented. She definitely has a potential, especially how she's grown in Moto America. But I know that I don't know if it'll be too soon. You don't want to I don't want to say ruin a legacy, but you just want to. I don't want to say go with the flow, but you don't want to jump in too soon if you know you probably can't handle it. In the long run.
Right.
But I know she has potential, and hopefully some years from now that she'll be able to join. It'd be cool to see some Americans, get into the big stage
No
with
doubt.
the mixed culture and stuff.
Yep. And shout out to all the folks that answered the poll question. It's interesting, the poll question, because the last one was who's going to win, and everyone picked Bulaga to win mostly. The percentage was pretty high, and so there's a lot of Bulaga fans out there. And shout out to everyone that's liking and subscribing. We definitely appreciate it. Our numbers are growing, and it is very nice to see. Continue to like, continue to subscribe. So let's wrap it up, man, and shout out the sponsors.
Yeah, right. Definitely appreciate everyone viewing and enjoying all the content because I love talking about bikes and this is fun. But can't wait till I go race in a few weeks. Some racing coming up and be back on it. But thank you to Woodcraft Technologies, J&G Performance, Official Vortex, and Hideaway RV Rentals always supporting me.
No doubt. And go to B4evaKool.com. Sign up so you can be on the mailing list and find out all the cool stuff that's coming out. You can also get some cool t-shirts and merch. So definitely go to B4evaKool.com. Shout out to Workbench Technology. Go to workbenchtech.com. If you have any IT needs, if you're struggling with CrowdStrike or anything like that happened this past week, you know what I mean? Also, go to fullgasproducts.com. We have a B4evaKool 10 discount code. So definitely go support Aaron over there at Full Gas Products. And, let's do the damn thing. My name is Rex45.
My name is TJ, 2 Wheels and Coffee.
Peace.